Imagine a city where the streets were literally piles of steaming manure, sometimes reaching up to 6 feet high. The air was thick with clouds of flies and a stench so unbearable it made residents sick. This wasn't a medieval village. This was New York City in 1894, on the brink of being suffocated by horse waste. This is the forgotten crisis that nearly destroyed the modern city. Before cars, horses were the literal engines of urban life. They powered everything: omnibuses, delivery carts, fire engines, and ambulances. In London alone, there were over 50,000 horses. New York City boasted more than 100,000. Each horse was a vital part of the city's pulse, but every engine has its exhaust. Each horse produced an average of 25 pounds of manure and a gallon of urine every single day. Multiply that by 100,000 horses in New York alone, and you're looking at 2.5 million pounds of waste daily. The city was literally drowning in its own progress. The consequences were devastating. Residents suffered from respiratory illnesses, children played in disease-ridden streets, and the sheer volume of flies was a constant plague. Experts of the time made a terrifying prediction. By 1930, they believed manure would pile up to the 3rd story of every building in Manhattan. The city was facing an environmental apocalypse. The infrastructure simply couldn't cope. Street cleaners worked tirelessly but were completely overwhelmed. Disposal methods were rudimentary, often just dumping manure into rivers or vacant lots, which only spread the bacteria and the stench further. It was a logistical nightmare with no visible exit. In 1894, the world's leading urban planners gathered in New York for the first ever International Urban Planning Conference. Their primary agenda was the manure crisis. But after 3 days of intense debate, they did something shocking. They admitted defeat. They broke up the conference early because no one could find a solution. The future of the city looked grim, but change was already on the horizon. Unbeknownst to these planners, inventors like Carl Benz and Henry Ford were perfecting a new kind of horseless carriage. Initially seen as a noisy, expensive novelty, the automobile would soon become the unexpected savior of the environment. Within 2 decades, the automobile radically transformed urban life. Horse populations plummeted, and the mountains of manure slowly disappeared. The crisis that seemed insurmountable was solved not by better cleaning, but by a total shift in technology. The Great Horse Manure Crisis is a fascinating look at how progress creates unforeseen problems. It makes us wonder, what modern advancements are we celebrating today that might be creating our next hidden catastrophe? From horse waste to carbon emissions, history reminds us that the solution often comes from the most unexpected places. What do you think is our manure crisis today? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more forgotten histories. Until next time, stay curious.